Kyle is with us in Tulsa. Hi, Kyle. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi, David. It's great to be talking with you.
Sure. What's up?
Me and my girlfriend have been going out for a little over a year now, and she has 2 kids, and we've talked about marriage a little bit, and I'm trying to figure out, I have debt of my own, so I'm trying to figure out how to, prepare my life, my future, that way they can have a good future, too, and, make sure everything works out.
Okay. You said you have debt. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I do.
Okay. How much debt do you have?
It's about $17,000.
Okay. And how much debt does she have?
She has roughly about the same. She
Okay.
She has a car.
And what does she make?
She makes $25 a year.
What do you?
So do me.
What do you make?
The same. Yeah, we both work at the same place.
You both make 25.
Yeah.
So you'd have if you were married, you'd have a $50,000 income with $34,000 worth of debt. Did I understand that right?
Yes.
Okay. And when would you be talking about getting married?
I'm not sure. I mean, that's kind of what's up in the air right now.
Just trying to think through it. Okay. Well,
yeah.
I mean, the main thing is not whether or not you have debt. It's whether or not you are in agreement on how you're going to handle money, meaning that we're going to be in agreement that we're both going to attack this debt with a vengeance, and we're going to get rid of it so that we can build wealth, so that we can have a great retirement, and these kids can go to college and so on. How old are you?
I'm 25.
How old is she?
22.
And she has 2 kids. What ages?
Yeah. 4-year-old and a 6-month-old.
And a 6-month-old. Okay.
Yes.
So she's recently gone through a divorce.
Yeah. Well, a breakup. Yeah. It's kind of messy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, what I would tell you is this. You want to make sure that the 2 of you sit down with a pastor and a marriage counselor and get some detailed, in-depth family counseling, because you're going to be an instant dad. And these little kids don't come with a training manual.
Yeah.
And so, you want to make sure that you're going to be able to speak into the raising of these kids. And if Mama Bear rises up and says you're not able to speak to that, and yet you're paying the bills and living and married and so forth, that's going to cause problems in your marriage. So, the management and the encouragement and the discipline and the nurturing of the kids can become a real sticking point when they in a blended family. And so you want to make sure that you guys have worked all of that through, and that you've worked through the money decisions. We're going to stay out of debt. We're going to save and invest. We're going to get rid of this debt. We're going to be on a budget together. We're going to have a plan. Here's the reason I'm bringing that up. The data that we have from doing this for 30 years is the number 1 cause of divorce in North America today is money fights and money problems. There are 4 things a young couple need to be in agreement on, and if they're in agreement on these 4 things, the data points tell us they have a high success rate in their marriage, a very high success rate. Number 1 is money. Number 2 is kids. Number 3 is religion. And number 4 is dealing with the in-laws, the extended family, because there's crazy in every family, and you got to know how to deal with it. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And so if you guys can, the 2 of you can, in your pre-marriage counseling, get a real flow chart, a real template on how to deal with the kids, that you're both going to be in agreement. You're going to love those kids like they're your own, and you're going to be consequently speaking into their nurture and their discipline as if you were their biological dad. Okay.
Right.
And you're going to set that plate up. You're going to put that on the plate ahead of time. The same thing with the money. We're going to combine our money. We're going to be in agreement on where we're going with the money. We're going to be in agreement on our religious affiliations. We're going to be in agreement on dealing with in-laws. Because, in other words, you can't let mother-in-law get between you, as an example. That kind of thing happens all the time. If you can get those 4 areas covered, all the data tells us you have about a 90% success ratio with your marriage. One of those 4 things is where almost everyone trips up. And you got 2 of them right now that are bothersome. So you really need to address them. You have a very young fiance with very young children recently coming out of a toxic situation. Danger.
Yeah.
Okay? And so take your time, and I'm not saying you're not to love the woman. I'm not saying she's not a great woman. She probably is. All that's fine. But just take your time and get detailed, in-depth pre-marriage coaching and counseling.
Okay.
And by the way, people that do in-depth pre-marriage counseling have a very high success rate of marriage.
Alrighty.
Because good marriage counseling done ahead of time, good pre-marriage counseling, will keep a bad marriage from happening.
Right.
It'll ruin it. It'll ruin the engagement if it's good stuff, if the engagement needs to be ruined. And if there's too much toxicity and you're not going to survive anyway, it'll blow it up. And that's what you want to do. I mean, tough discussions. You want to have those before you get married, not after. I mean, marriage is tough enough when you got everything lined up. But when it's not lined up, oh, my goodness, can you have a mess. So, hey, there you go. Thanks for joining us.